Welcome back to Ancient Echoes, where we dive into the stories and myths that have stood the test of time. Today we're going to take a journey through some of the most fascinating ancient myths and explore how they've influenced modern culture in ways you might not expect. From gods and heroes to legendary creatures, ancient civilizations gave us timeless stories that continue to echo in the movies we watch, the books we read, and even the video games we play. But how exactly do these age-old tales still shape our world today? Let's uncover the connection between the myths of the past and the media we love in the present. Let's begin with one of the most famous mythologies in the world, Greek mythology. For centuries, the stories of gods, heroes, and creatures have inspired art, literature, and culture. Figures like Zeus, Athena, and Hades were more than just powerful beings. They were symbols of natural forces and human emotions, and their tales dealt with love, jealousy, betrayal, and justice. These ancient myths haven't just disappeared into the pages of history, though. They've lived on in modern pop culture. Take Thor, for example. The thunder god of Norse mythology might seem far removed from the Greek gods, but the spirit of these ancient gods lives on in the MCU. Marvel's version of Thor is deeply rooted in the archetypal hero of myth, someone who battles both internal and external monsters. Similarly, Wonder Woman, an iconic hero in modern comics, draws heavy inspiration from Greek mythology. The Amazonian princess, with her connection to gods like Zeus, is part of the ongoing conversation about how ancient mythologies inform modern storytelling. Next, let's travel to ancient Egypt, where the mythology surrounding gods like Ra, Osiris, and Anubis was central to understanding the world and the afterlife. These stories were about the eternal battle between life and death, order and chaos, and the journey of the soul after death. But these myths didn't fade away. They continue to appear in popular culture, from blockbuster movies to comic books. Take The Mummy, for instance. The film uses ancient Egyptian mythology to create a gripping tale of resurrection and immortality, ideas that were deeply tied to the Egyptians' religious beliefs. And in the world of comics, Marvel's Moon Knight character is deeply intertwined with Egyptian gods. The god Khonshu, who guides the character, draws directly from the ancient Egyptian pantheon. It's incredible to see how these ancient gods, with their deep ties to the mysteries of the afterlife, are brought to life in modern media. Now, let's shift to Norse mythology, which has arguably had one of the most significant influences on modern pop culture. The stories of Odin, Thor, Loki, and the other gods of Asgard are packed with adventure, betrayal, and heroism, and they've inspired everything from blockbuster films to best-selling books. Norse myths are a treasure trove of complex stories that deal with fate, death, and the power of family, and they've had a massive resurgence in recent years. Marvel's Thor is just the beginning. The MCU has helped bring Norse mythology to the forefront of modern media, blending ancient myths with futuristic technology and storytelling. But it's not just in superhero films. Norse mythology has made its way into games like God of War, where players can immerse themselves in a world filled with gods, giants, and monsters. And even J.R.R. Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings owes much of its structure and inspiration to Norse myths, with its focus on battles between light and dark and the strong influence of fate. Of course, no discussion of ancient myths would be complete without mentioning one of the most iconic mythical creatures, the dragon. These fierce, powerful creatures appear in nearly every ancient culture, from Chinese dragons symbolizing strength and good fortune, to the fire-breathing dragons of European folklore. These ancient myths about dragons have evolved over time, but their influence on modern culture is undeniable. In Game of Thrones, dragons are symbols of power, destruction, and renewal, much like the fire-breathing creatures of old myths. But they've also taken on a more friendly form in movies like How to Train Your Dragon, where a fierce dragon named Toothless becomes a symbol of friendship and loyalty. Even in Shrek, we see a dragon that, instead of being a terrifying force, is a companion to the hero. These modern-day dragons still carry the echoes of the ancient myths they come from. So, as we've seen, the myths of the past continue to resonate in modern culture. Whether it's the gods of Mount Olympus, the mighty Thor from Norse myth, the enigmatic Egyptian deities, or the legendary dragons that soar through our imagination, these ancient stories are more alive than ever. They shape our art, our entertainment, and even the way we see the world today. The beauty of mythology is that it's not just a thing of the past, it's a living, breathing part of our modern culture. What ancient myth has inspired you the most? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this exploration of how ancient stories still echo through our lives, hit that like button and make sure you subscribe to Ancient Echoes for more dives into the mysteries of the past. Until next time, keep listening to the echoes of history.